Hey, how frequently do you hear words gaming and budget in one phrase? When many companies sell such stuff for a big buck just for the sake of being gaming, ASUS brand, TUF, wants to give gamers at least some balance with the rest of the world. And today we're digging deeper into their new model A15. Welcome to TechFellas, my name is Bogdan and this is its detailed review. So, the way how products look speaks a lot about the attempts to reduce their price. The laptop is made either almost or just completely of plastic, but the manufacturer made a lot to let it look fancy. On the working panel there is a pseudo grinding that gives it some bulky power. The keyboard goes slightly inside the laptop's body, and this is also played out quite elegantly. The cutouts are not just present alone, but also come with oblique lines. There are decorative screws on the lid that itself is made of metal, but as I said in a quick look video on this laptop, you can find the model with plastic lid that visually looks different and adds some aggressive flavor. The bottom of the laptop also doesn't look dull at all, as well as ventilation outputs seem to come from some kind of tech porn. In general, despite the choice of not the most noble material, designers get all my respect, as A15 looks significantly more pleasing than typical plastic laptops. From the point of technical build, the absence of ergolift system is compensated by laptop's legs. They are large and there are 5 of them. The central one, as I understand, is set for emotional gamers who used to lean on the keyboard, so basically to prevent body from bending too much. As for the whole rigidity itself, we don't have any complaints. The laptop doesn't creak, its lid doesn't slide from sides to sides while carrying it open. There is no backlash in hinges and no springing back and forth when adjusting the angle, as well as the lid can be opened with one hand, that I also admire a lot. You may know that the most of ASUS laptops are certified by the military standards. This one's also got the code, namely MIL STD 810H, that speaks only how bold is laptop's build. What else? The frame around the screen is not the thinnest in the world, but its widest part is only from below, due to which the laptop overall turned out to be relatively compact. Actually, in total area it doesn't differ much from MacBook with similar screen diagonal of 15.6 inch. The keyboard has a backlight, it is of course RGB, and of course the Aura app comes in handy to set its color and pattern. It can also be synchronized with headphones, mouse and probably more accessories, so that the whole room would be glowing at night together with sounds of nervous clattering on the mouse and occasional swearing. By the way, brightness has 3 levels. Also, I don't know if this is a bug or a feature, but under the keys you can see a grid of small LEDs, and this looks very original. Moving through sides, on the right there is the lone USB 2.0, on the left there is a headset mini jack, Type-C port that acts like USB 3.2 and the DisplayPort 1.4. Next go to regular USB 3.2, HDMI, a gigabit Ethernet and a power supply. All except a card reader for complete happiness. The keyboard here is the most ordinary one. It is notchless, not some kind of butterfly style, just a normal working keyboard. It has a nice tangible key travel and importantly a full layout with numpad. Okay, its buttons are slightly narrowed comparing to the rest, but at least they are present. As for the touchpad, frankly, nothing special. All that built-in screens, numbering keypads and so on are about more expensive laptops, and we are talking about budget-friendly gaming one. Almost finished with the body. The last thing here I wanna show you is the guts of the laptop. There are no hidden screws at the bottom, no Torxes or some kind of cunning heads for which you cannot find a screwdriver. Everything holds on Phillips screws. That means everything is exposed for getting inside. But why would you do that? Say if you need to build up RAM and storage, for which, by the way, there is a vacant M2 slot and a place for HDD. Now that's what I call a democracy. The screen, as I mentioned earlier, is 15.6 inch. It is TN Matrix with Full HD resolution, 45% of NTSC coverage and 144Hz refresh rate. There is also a version with 60Hz screen for those who want to cut the price even more. I understand that the letters TN for many people is kinda a red flag, you may not even bother proving that in comments, but it still won't make me say that the screen is a deep shit. The quality of that one is high. It has not truly accurate, but okay colors, equal illumination all over the area without any fierce spots like we saw on really cheap laptops, and also decent viewing angles. That is the most common issue in TN screens. In this laptop you do not need to look for the precise position of the lid to make the image look fine. It will be anyway. Even with significant deviations, the picture becomes distorted but remains readable. So do not judge the book by its cover and displays by its manufacturing technology. As for the hardware, our version is built on Ryzen 7 4800H, has 16 GB of RAM, RTX 2060 graphics for 6 GB of memory, 1 TB SSD. There are options with different screen, a different processor, graphics, and of course a memory and storage. This one you're looking at is near the top modification, with the cost about $1300. Through the whole period of use, it turned out to be much more difficult to boil this one than some other laptops on top-end hardware. And of course, all the best regards I'm sending to its cooling system. We played a lot. Once it was half of the day, and even despite the warm air coming out from cooling fans, there were no dramatic drops in FPS number, and the keyboard wasn't melting at all. You might spot extreme temperature measurements, but in most cases it was in high range like 80-90 degrees Celsius, but not more. If the games were jerking in places, then it's because I went too far with the graphic settings and not because of the boiling insides that was working stably, almost on the verge of its capabilities. By the way, we know that there are guys on Reddit who are not satisfied with the laptop power management and cooling, but our experience tells that machine works stable enough. Mainly, we tested two games. The first one was GTA 5, since it was handed out for free and I decided not to lose a chance, and new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, striking my eyes with a mean male tear. In both cases, the settings were set as high as it was allowed by the amount of graphics memory, and I speak about such settings that were hitting hard mainly on caching parameters and other garbage that in my humble opinion didn't affect much the overall picture. In both games on the output we get, if not very spectacular, but working FPS and extremely rare drops down below 30. In order to get 70 FPS in GTA, it was enough to reduce the texture filtering and move just a couple of sliders. The same in Call of Duty, nothing needs to be reset to minimum graphics. In case of Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, I can safely say that the laptop is rocking fresh games on almost maximum settings, surely with high FPS. And as for the almost maximum graphics, here the FPS number is quite tolerant. Just adding, if you want to see the smoothness of 144Hz screen, you still have to sacrifice beauty a bit. Moving on with more tests. If you're looking for a low-cost video editing machine, here's the expert speed measurement in Premiere Pro. Unless you know, for all powerful laptops we use the same test project and video samples. Starting with stabilization, 25 seconds long video was completely analyzed in 5.5 minutes. The total length of project is 15 minutes and 5 seconds. It is in 4K with overlays and crazy random color correction applied to each fragment. So the expert took 47 minutes and a couple of seconds. For comparison, now on the screen you see time results of all other ASUS laptops from our previous reviews. It's time to tell you about the battery. A15 doesn't show the best results result because in our version the battery has a capacity of 48 Wh. For those who want more, there is an option with 90 Wh. In our case, games discharge the laptop approximately in 1 hour. However, in everyday tasks the battery lasts for a half of a general working day. More than 4 hours from it you can squeeze only in some artificial conditions. The speakers in the laptop are just okay, nothing special. They are not very loud, but enough to watch a movie in a splendid isolation with a mug of Coke. The quality overall is pretty decent. Anyway, I hope you realize that gaming on this one is much more enjoyable in headphones than even with the coolest speakers built into the laptop. Summarizing the stuff. It's been more than a week of dealing with this laptop, and not only this one, and I can certainly say that the stuff on Ryzen is actually pretty awesome. The thing is, manufacturer managed to lower the price, mainly thanks to this processor that, while working on its last breath, still shows a decent performance. Next thing, the popularity of budget gaming is increasing. If you remember last year's TUF laptops, these were already pretty good, and the hero of this review makes me only happier. On the one hand, this model has all you need, and on the other, it has got rid of the things that you are simply ready to sacrifice. In ASUS opinion, of course. Laptops got a wonderful cooling system, smooth and nice screen, reliable guts, and just a full capacity of various interfaces for even more usability. With all my respect, I can live without a metal body and additional backlighting stuff. If all you need from the gaming laptop is a powerful hardware and a cooler, I can easily recommend you at least trying out ASUS TUF A15. In the description box below you will find the links to the internet stores where you can buy that guy. And if you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button and ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers!